and hence therefore can never be proven false, and hence therefore can never be dropped.
When it comes to Vedanta, for which he proclaims to be an Acharya, his talk is only pointing out his ignorance about the subject. Let's understand how.
How do you, I claim I'm seeing a ghost here, negate? Can you?
If you say you're seeing a ghost there, and if everyone else is saying that, then that becomes a perception, and with that perception which cannot be negated. And if you alone are seeing that ghost, then it becomes your own hallucination, which you have to look into it. It's not our problem to look into it. So to answer your question, yes, we can negate if it's your own hallucination, it's not a perception, and that stands negated. And if everyone is seeing it, then it need not be negated as it is a common knowledge. It's a perception.
Can you? You cannot. That's spirituality.
Sorry, that's not spirituality. That's you bluffing about a subject called spirituality, to which you proclaim yourself to be an expert on.
And what is self-knowledge? The very art of ruthless negation of everything that you see as imaginary, as a product of ego. So Adhyatma proceeds through negation.
Now there are two things here to be understood. One is imagination, other is perception. You can dismiss imagination to be unreal, to be personal, to be subjective. Whereas, if perception is dismissed as imagination, this makes you a mad hat. Now, duality is an experience we have got. Not just duality, it is plurality. But often the word duality is used because there is a mind which makes us an individual and everything else as something which is known through the individual. Duality experience in the waking state cannot be dismissed as unreal, like how these people are doing. So this is nowhere said in Upanishads or Bhagavad Gita. Now this points out the necessity of going to a guru to understand Vedanta. This knowledge is not going to dawn upon you sitting under a banyan tree. As it may look desirable that way, but that doesn't work. And when we look at our own lives, no knowledge has descended upon us just like that. Either our parents have taught us, or teachers have taught us, or our friends have taught us. Someone or the other have taught us whatever we know. Now this is not even the beginning of spirituality, and I don't know what it can be called. These kind of ideas disrupt our very experience of the world and can even ruin our life. Because this experience of pain and suffering are so real that you try to bluff yourself by saying it is unreal, and every time you say that, you're going against your own experience, and this will ruin your life, your relationships, your marriage, your very experience of happiness, everything. Even those small moments of joy which you would enjoy earlier seem no longer enjoyable because of these funny ideas where you self-negate, you negate everything. The very fact that this world is perceived by our senses and it is known, this is being dismissed by the usage of the word imagination. The world is not an imagination, nor the mind is capable of imagining such a vast world. And if it was an imagination which is purely by human will, then there would never be suffering in the world. There will never be anything which is not desirable to you. You always should be happy, but that's not so. So this world is not an imagination which can be dismissed. And that's what you think non-duality is, spirituality is, and this is where you have mistaken. Non-duality is not dismissal of this very experience as unreal. Why do you think subjects' life self-knowledge are a child's play, where you just sit and negate this is not there, and you are happy? You can't even imagine how foolish you sound when you say that. Go look at the level of competency of a second-class math textbook, and the way you are talking about Vedanta, you look at the competency required for this subject. It looks like the second-class math is more difficult than Vedanta, and it looks like everyone are better off just dismissing this whole world as not real. Because understanding anything else looks very complex, and this Vedanta looks very easy. Just dismiss everything as not there. This is what is ignorance about Vedanta. Vedanta is not such a simple subject that you can just dismiss everything as unreal and get away. And even if I say it is unreal, this whole experience doesn't go away as unreal. To understand what Vedanta is saying, people devote their whole lives, take sannyasa, take to celibacy, where they willfully withdraw from all the worldly pursuits, worldly pleasure, for gaining this knowledge alone. Now, as per you, they could have just said there's unreal and sat where they are and do what they're doing. Now, as per you, they could have just said there's unreal and sat where they are and do what they're doing. The first point is Vedanta cannot be gained by reading books. What is talked about is Shravanam, listening to a guru, trying to understand the subject matter by a guru. Reading will only make you pick up these kind of funny ideas where you're dismissing your very experience and which is foolish. And the second point is Vedanta doesn't deny your experience to arrive at non-duality. Non-duality is to be understood, and non-duality is not just simple negation as unreal. Now, Vedanta study is a committed study of Upanishads, not for the heck of it, but to understand ourselves. Upanishads are the only books which talk about what we are. And this is the only way to figure out and understand what we are. There is no meditative technique, nor some Shaktipat, nor some Tantra, nor an organization which can help us gain what Upanishads can give us. Now, if you say that I don't believe you, then this video is not for you. This whole video is for understanding a subject called Vedanta, which is another word for Upanishads. Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam.